5 now, and for decades, Northeast Ohio watched the great Chuck Kyle coach St. Ignatius football. And now you can see his final season and the impact that he's had on the game of football in a new docuseries called Object of the Game on Amazon Prime. Dave Jadowski has the pleasure of sitting down with him this morning. Dave, I can only imagine the amount of interviews you've had with him.
Oh, certainly a pleasure. No question about it. Really excited about this. Yes, I have interviewed this man many times. We're lucky enough to have the star of the series, Coach Chuck Kyle, and the director behind it, Matt Waldeck from Zodiac Features here in studio. Great to see both of you again. No strangers to this studio at all.
Okay. Follow my way down here.
You know your way. That's right. Well, let's dive right in. The object of the game, it comes literally from the book you wrote, right?
Right. To basic format, right? Basic format. We stayed with it. So.
Okay. And that was, and you wrote that book when?
Oh, let's see, about 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just again, the idea of the object of the game is the idea of, hey, it's very educational. It really is, especially at the high school level, but even at the pro level. We had a lot of pro coaches saying, I want to be part of this documentary.
Where did the idea stem from?
Oh, well, playing for Coach Kyle. I was a player for Coach. We won a state championship together in 2001. So obviously, I knew it was a special program. It was a different kind of approach to building up the person as opposed to just the player. So that always stuck with me. And then his final season provided the perfect kind of way in. And then the book really brought it up to all these huge football names who contributed to the project: Bill Belichick, Urban Meyer, Roger Goodell, Tony Romo, Mike Tomlin, Sean McVay, Joe Thomas, our own Joe Thomas. So, because these guys all can relate to what Chico described in his book 20 years ago, these universal football virtues that every player needs to kind of adopt.
Football field is a classroom. Honestly, you know that. It's a classroom. I could sit there in English class and come up with, being determined and resilient and all that. You live it on a football field, right? And so that's kind of a basic stem of this thing. And as soon as you start talking about that, there's Sean McVay going, yeah, sure, I want to talk about that, right? And I mean, that's what happens. So that gave it a really interesting twist that we didn't realize. I didn't realize was going to happen.
Yeah, no question. One thing I've always admired about you is your love for teaching. And you've talked about that maybe more than football.
Well, come on now. A certain member of my family, she would tell you that paid the bills, really. I mean, coaching was a stipend, But come on, you finish English class, you take your tie off, you put a whistle on, and you go and you still teach. You really do.
What's it like for you to hear? You just mentioned all the big names, right, in this. What was it like for them for you to hear them talk about you?
Humbling.
Right?
Very humbling. I mean, I met Bill Belichick years ago when he was here, and we have Dave Ragone is an assistant coach on the Rams, so then there's Sean McVay. He said, yeah, sure, Dave, I want to talk about that. So it just sort of, and then he got involved, to be honest. He started going after it, so.
Yeah, and it really compounded. The NFL network is a very small, tight-knit community. So once one guy kind of did it, Dungy did it first for us down with the Hall of Fame on Enshrinement Weekend. And then it kind of compounded because they said, yeah, this is good. This is good for the game. Coach Kyle, he received a letter from Roger Goodell. I think you were there, right? The first ever home game at Wasmer Field, right? So he was presented with that letter from Goodell. So people knew it was good for the game, and it's a real testament to Chico's legacy and his impact on the game that people, donated their time for it.
What kind of feedback have you received?
Surprising.
We're the number 5. We're the number 5 TV show on Amazon Prime
right now.
We got our numbers Monday after Super Bowl.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Number 5 most purchased TV series in the country. So
the business part, go right there.
Go to him. Well, what about feedback just from people in general?
Oh,
reaching out to you?
I'll get texts and so on like that going. This was really inspiring. It was very educational. It was just a joy to watch. People talking about having tears in their eyes or something like that. Come on now, wait a minute. It's not a tragedy. Everything's good, right? But
I remember your final season, and I remember well hearing stories about them following you. What was that like for you to have that happening?
Well, he contacted me and said, Coach, I want to do a documentary. And I said, hey, I'm just going to do what I usually do.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a camera follow me around and see what's going on, and then he cuts it up and makes it a documentary. That's kind of in
that's how it.
very general idea.
And 4 years in between of working on it, but you know that's how big his story is, right? You have to cover 40 years, and you have to,
honestly, I didn't have any idea how this thing worked. When it takes this long for it to really develop.
Yeah. Well, a great idea. One of the most successful people that we know in Northeast Ohio ever. I want to thank you so much for coming in and talking about this.
Thanks.
You as well for coming up with this idea. And real quick, how can people watch this again?
Go home, watch it right now on Amazon Prime Video. It'll be right there waiting for you.
Okay, Coach Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Sure, Dave.
And boy, I'll tell you, Brissa, this is fantastic. And if you haven't, we're not going to go to Brissa. We're going to go to Matt. Matt knows very well how successful this man has been and how successful this series will be.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to watch it as well. You know, it's just great to have him in the building. There's a certain feeling you get when Chuck Kyle's here, and you feel it. So glad to have him joining us here this morning.